Good morning, you're watching Nightline with me, Liyana Hassanel. The top stories. Johor by-elections. Wins show unity government cooperation accepted by the people. And aftershock rattles Morocco as rescuers seek survivors. The victory achieved by the Pakatan Harapan PH and Barisan Nasional BN coalition in the Pulai and Simpang Jeram by-elections has invigorated the cooperation between the two parties at all levels. Politicians and analysts alike are in agreement that the comfortable wins in both seats reflects the people's growing confidence in the unity government. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim described the success of retaining the two seats in Johor as a clear signal that voters want issues related to the people's development and economic agenda to continue to be prioritised. In a post on social media, the Prime Minister said the people's decision is a positive development for the unity government and ensuring development and economic agenda for the people can continue to be successfully carried out. He also congratulated PH candidates Suhasan Kayat and Nazri Abdul Rahman for winning and retaining the Pulai parliamentary and Simpang Jeram state seats for the coalition in the by-elections. The PH chairman also expressed his appreciation of all voters who supported and believed in the efforts of the unity government in developing the country. Suhasan, who contested an election for the 7th time, clinched his maiden win with a majority of 18,641 votes. The victory makes him the first MP to represent the unity government formed through the support of the PHBN coalition. Meanwhile, Nazri won in Simpang Jeram with a majority of 3,514 votes after defeating Dr. Muhammad Mazri Yahya of Perikatan Nasional and independent candidate S. Jagannathan. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the victory of the unity government candidates in the Pulai parliamentary and Simpang Jeram state by-elections proves the political maturity of the Johor people. Zahid, who is also BN chairman, said it was evident that Johorians were not easily swayed by political slander and were confident that the unity government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, could ensure the country's stability.
Ianya merupakan satu keabsahan oleh para pengundi yang matang di Pulai dan di Simpang Jeram. Ini membuktikan bahawa kerajaan perpaduan diterima oleh rakyat. Dan kita merasakan bahawa apa yang telah disebutkan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri selaku pemimpin di dalam kerajaan perpaduan ini untuk menterjemahkan kestabilan di peringkat nasional dengan terus mengekalkan 148 kursi ini telah diterjemahkan oleh pengundi di Pulai.
He added that the victory also proves that the people are not easily swayed by slander, as what happened in 3 northern and east states during the state elections. The BN chairman said the strong vote majority is also a referendum that the unity government is accepted and validated by the people. In the meantime, speaking on BN's candidate for the Pelangai by-election, Zahid said he is evaluating 6 potential candidates with Pahang BN chairman Datuk Seri Wan Rosdi Wan Ismail.
Telah diserahkan dan saya sedang meneliti bersama-sama dengan Yang Amat Berhormat pengurusi BN Pahang dan juga Menteri Besar. Ya. Kami akan meneliti.
Datuk Seri.
Yang disampaikan kepada saya 6 orang, tapi kita akan senarai pendekkan dalam waktu yang terdekat.
As for DAP, Secretary General Anthony Loke said the party will deploy its entire machinery to ensure victory for the PH and BN coalition. He said the effort was based on the spirit of togetherness and reciprocating the same commitment shown by the BN machinery that helped PH candidates win in 2 by-elections in Johor on Saturday.
Sudah tentu ini akan terus kita bawa semangat ini ke PAK di Dun Pelangai nanti. Dalam PAK ini kita lihat bahawa jelas jentera UMNO Barisan Nasional memberikan sokongan penuh kepada jentera PH di Pulai dan di Simpang Jeram. Mereka memang bertungkus lumus.
The Election Commission has set October 7th as the polling day for the Pelangai State seat by-election in Pahang, while nomination day will fall on September 23rd. The Pelangai State seat was declared vacant when incumbent Datuk Sri Johari Harun died in a plane crash in Elmina, Shah Alam, which also killed 9 others. Meanwhile, the new Pulai MP Suhasan Kayat says following the night he has received more than 30 requests from voters, even though he has not been officially sworn in. The Johor Amanah Vice Chairman said the letters and applications were from voters asking for better infrastructure and programs. He said among the requests were for mosques, repairs for other houses of worship, a Tamil vernacular school, as well as more meaningful programs for women and youth.
Itu yang yang kita catatkan kan. Ada lagi yang mereka sebut kepada wakil-wakil kita tu. Saya kira ada lagi tambahan-tambahan yang kita kena teliti lah. Jadi bendanya banyak lah dan sekarang pula kita dah berada di hujung tahun ni.
He was met at an appreciation lunch for voters and supporters in Taman Bukit Indah on Sunday. Suhasan also said he is ready to serve the people and to continue the legacy of the late Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub by carrying on with Rahmah-type initiatives. The results of both Johor by-elections on Saturday reflect the people's acceptance of Pakatan Harapan Barisan Nasional Pact. Political analysts Nightline spoke to said that it also demonstrates that PHBN is well prepared to face Perikatan Nasional PN in other states.
Yes, true enough. In Simpang Jeram, for example, a Malay constituency, majority of the Malay voters are there, and this is a past stronghold in Johor. And not only Pakatan Harapan Barisan Nasional secured a win, defend their seats, but also with a healthy majority, a bigger majority it is. It clearly shows that Simpang Jeram voters accept the Pakatan Harapan Barisan Nasional Cooperation. And more interestingly, in Pulai, facing with a low voters turnout, 55% compared to 74% during the last general election, it is a reduced majority indeed, but still a healthy majority with a low voters turnout. So by extension, not only in Simpang Jeram and also in Pulai constituencies, but I would say that the whole of Johor, the Bangsa Johor accepted the Pakatan Harapan Barisan Nasional Cooperation. I think what transpired in this particular two constituency reflect the desire of the Bangsa Johor voters, the Bangsa Johor people that want the relationship of this kind of relationship, Pakatan Harapan and Barisan Nasional, to be continued, not only at the state level, but also at the federal level.
For the Pulai parliamentary seat, PH Suhasan Kayat won with a majority of 18,641 votes, defeating Zulkifli Jaafar from PN and independent candidate Samsudin Muhammad Fauzi. For state seat of Simpang Jeram, PH Nazri Abdul Rahman defeated PN's Dr. Muhammad Mazri Yahya and independent candidate S. Jagannathan with a majority of 3,514 votes.
The by-elections result shows that the PHBN coalition has gained a stronger foothold in Johor than in previous state elections. The opposition, Perikatan Nasional, should take the cue and accept its role as an opposition for the next 4 years. The low turnout, as low as 47% in Pulai, however, send a strong signal to all parties that they have to work harder to gain the people's support.
Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah on Sunday, in the meantime, has called on the people to live in harmony and remain united. The king also called the people to support the unity government so that it will be easy for them to chart development and progress. Al-Sultan Abdullah said he is the Agong for the people and want to talk about love and not politics. Thus, he urged for Malaysians to remain united. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong said this before departing the Pesta Keramaian Bersama Rakyat at Bungai Beach, Bekanu, held in conjunction with the ongoing Kembara Kenali Borneo. The king also expressed his gratitude to the people of Miri for their warm reception in welcoming the arrival of the royal entourage in conjunction with the Kembara Kenali Borneo. Also present were Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria and Regent of Pahang Tunku Hassanel Ibrahim Alam Shah. Tunku Panglima Raja Colonel Tunku Amir Nasir Ibrahim Shah and Tunku Ahmad Ismail Muazzam Shah also attended the gathering. All Malaysians in Morocco are safe and have not been affected by the major earthquake that struck Marrakesh on Friday. Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir, in confirming the matter, said he has instructed the Malaysian ambassador to Morocco, Datuk Astana Abdul Aziz, to obtain information on the latest developments on the tragedy.
Kita mengikuti perkembangan terhadap keadaan rakyat Malaysia yang berada di sekitar sama ada di Marrakesh ataupun di kawasan-kawasan yang terkena kesan daripada gempa bumi ini. Sehingga kini kita mendapati tidak ada rakyat Malaysia yang terkorban atau cedera. Dan walau bagaimanapun saya telah mengarahkan pihak Wisma Putra untuk memantau berterusan kerana kita nak tahu juga hasil daripada siasatan lanjutan daripada runtuhan-runtuhan bangunan yang ada.
Zamri further said the current situation was concerning following several aftershocks that occurred at the location. He mentioned that the focus is now directed towards Malaysians who have not registered their presence in Morocco. Meanwhile, Malaysians in Morocco are advised to remain vigilant and follow the latest developments and advice issued by the local authorities. Meanwhile, aftershocks rattled Moroccans on Sunday as they prayed for victims of the nation's strongest earthquake in more than a century and toiled to rescue survivors, with soldiers and workers bringing water and supplies to desperate mountain villages in ruins. So far, at least 2,012 people have been killed, while 2,059 others were left injured, including 1,400 critically in Friday night's earthquake, with the death toll expected to rise, especially after the aftershocks. Several countries have offered aid and search support, but most of the rescue operation in remote mountain areas was being led by local teams, as the capital, Rabat, has not yet issued a broad demand for international aid. Spain's Foreign Minister José Manuel Albares said on Sunday Madrid would send search and rescue teams and aid after a formal request for help from Morocco and neighboring Algeria, which has had difficult relations with Morocco, says it has opened its airspace, which had been closed for 2 years, to flights carrying humanitarian aid and the injured. Other countries, including Turkey, the US and Taiwan, said their specialist search and rescue teams are also ready if Morocco were to call for them. After this breather, Imran Khan moves Supreme Court against amendments to 2 acts. Stay tuned. The foreign news. The group of 20 G20 leaders on Sunday hailed the New Delhi summit as a resounding success and said the meeting has once again put the bloc at the center of global governance. US President Joe Biden said this year's G20 summit has proved that the group can still drive solutions to the most pressing issues of the climate crisis, fragility and conflict. While Russia said the summit under India's presidency was a breakthrough conclave in many ways, as its outcomes showed a path to the world to move forward on a range of challenges and demonstrated the strength and importance of the global south. The biggest takeaway of the summit was the New Delhi Declaration, wherein all 83 paras of the declaration were passed unanimously with 100% consensus, along with China and Russia in agreement. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the meantime, has asked the group's leaders to hold a virtual meeting in November to review progress on policy suggestions and goals announced at the weekend. before passing the ceremonial gavel of the G20 presidency to Brazil. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan on Saturday moved the Supreme Court, challenging the changes made to the Official Secrets Act OSA and the Pakistan Army Act. The petition filed by Khan through his counsel contends that the amendments made in the OSA and the Pakistan Army Act are in violation of the constitutional provisions of human rights. It described the amendments to be in violation of various articles of the Constitution, which guarantee civil liberties, including the right to liberty, dignity, free speech, among other fundamental rights. It also asserted that the president did not sign the Army Amendment Act and Official Secrets Act, which it said were in violation of several articles of the Constitution. The petition has not been fixed for hearing yet. Suffer great fall in China. Sports when we come back. We're back with sports. Badminton, the 2023 China Open. National top men's doubles shuttlers Aaron Chia, So Hu-yik will have to wait longer for their maiden Badminton World Federation BWF World Tour title after missing a chance in the final on Sunday. The world number 6 Aaron Wu-yik were far off their best form to concede the World Tour Super 1000 title to China's Liang Weikeng Wang Chang at the Changzhou Olympic Sports Center. The world number 3 Chinese pair claimed their 4th World Tour title with a 21-12, 21-14 victory in just 26 minutes, their 5th win in 6 matches against the 2022 world champion. Despite having advanced to the final 6 times in the World Tour, the title remains elusive for Aaron Wu-yik. On to tennis, the 2023 US Open. Coco Gauff won the first Grand Slam title of her career on Saturday, and she did it on home soil in front of ecstatic fans in New York. Still just 19, Gauff overcame a slow start and surged to her first major championship by coming back to defeat number 2 seed Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus, the Australian Open champion, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2. Gauff becomes the first American teenager to triumph at Flushing Meadows since Serena Williams in 1999. Sabalenka, however, can console herself with the knowledge that she will become the new world number 1 on Monday, after a remarkably consistent year in which also reached the semi-finals in Paris and at Wimbledon. When we return, 12 arrested after police bust 5 trafficking syndicates. Don't go away. Welcome back. The 6-day special sitting of the Dewan Rakyat, slated to begin on Monday, will focus on the tabling of the 12th Malaysia Plan 12 MP Midterm Review, MTR, by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. The 12 MP MTR was carried out to evaluate the achievements in the 2021 to 2022 and in the direction for 2023 to 2025 towards achieving a sustainable, prosperous and high-income nation. According to the Dewan Rakyat calendar, the tabling of the 12 MP MTR is scheduled for 10 a.m. with no afternoon sitting, as the debate will start on Tuesday until Thursday, while replies by ministers are slated on September 18th and 19th. Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli said the 12 MP MTR encompasses 17 policy shifts or radical approaches, in line with the current economic situation, which will provide a way out from issues which arose during the 10th Malaysia Plan and the 11th Malaysia Plan. Rafizi said the policy transitions take into account the views of industries and stakeholders, as well as the country's financial capacity, the availability of skills, and the people's acceptance. Economist Professor Jeffrey Williams expects a wide-ranging set of changes.
Some of the things that might be targeted would be perhaps the underlying economic growth targets, which was 4 to 5% per year during the 12th Malaysia Plan period, which has changed now because we have had a structural change in the economy. And we also know that the government has new ideas on how to raise incomes with progressive wage model, for example, and also has a new set of 7 priorities under the Economy Madani framework, and these would have to be incorporated in any new system. So it might well be that overall we will see a wholly different plan, and that would be perfectly consistent with the government's mandate.
Williams also expects changes in spending priorities from the initial policy tabled on September 27, 2021, with an estimated development allocation of 400 billion ringgit.
Now, whether all of this can be done in the a little bit over 2 years that is left of the 12th Malaysia Plan is very challenging, because the 12th Malaysia Plan was supposed to be completed by the end of 2025, so we would only have the whole of 24 and the whole of 25 and 1 quarter of this year, 2023. But also we know that the Economy Madani framework aims to try to achieve its targets over the space of 7 years. So there would be a wholly different timescale for some of these targets and some of these themes. What we hope to see, I think, would be a completely different underlying philosophical approach, which moves away from government intervention.
In other news, police have crippled 5 migrant smuggling syndicates operating in Kedah with the arrest of 12 local and Myanmar agents through Ops Pintas, held from August 15th to September 7th. State Police Chief Datuk Faisal Saleh said 47 Myanmar migrants aged between 15 and 50 were also detained during the operation. Faisal said the migrants were smuggled into the country through sea and land routes in the Langkawi and Kubang Pasu districts. Though the syndicate groups are unrelated, they do share a common modus operandi, which involves smuggling migrants into the country through sea and land routes. It is also believed that they have been collaborating with syndicate agents in Yangon, Myanmar. Faisal said the migrants had been promised job opportunities in various economic sectors in the country. They were required to pay between 5,000 ringgit and 7,000 ringgit each to the syndicate agents. Faisal said police had also met with the Kedah National Security Council to address the issue of migrant infiltration along the national borders. Police have arrested 2 suspects over the suspected murder of a male victim who was found with fatal injuries to his head in Wangsa Maju on Sunday. Wangsa Maju District Police Chief Superintendent Ashari Abu Samah said police received a report by the victim's sister at 1:48 a.m. on Sunday. She had stated that her brother had been found dead in a lorry at a parking lot in Danau Kota. Investigations on the victim's body showed injuries to the head, including the eye and cheek, as well as bruises on the ribs and shoulders. Acting on information gathered, 2 men aged 36 and 37 were arrested at the scene of the incident. Investigations will be conducted under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder, which provides the death penalty if found guilty. The motive is still being investigated. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at a colorful building dubbed the Cruiser of the Andes as it opens its doors in El Alto, Bolivia. The luxurious building, full of patterns and original shapes, includes multiple private ballrooms, a hotel, and a signature cuisine restaurant, as well as its eye-catching boat-shaped lookout. I'm Hassanel. Thank you for watching, and have a great week ahead.